It's the holiday season and I bet y'all are invited to Christmas parties, New Year Eve parties, and I thought it would be fun to help you give some inspiration for the holiday vibe. So I'm gonna show you guys how to achieve this look over here. It's definitely different from your daily wear. It's giving drama, but still quite wearable, and also it's very sparkly and shiny, and I'll show you guys how to achieve this look. I'll put all the products that I'm using down in the description box below, so check that out. And without further ado, let's get into it. I think many people don't realize this, but contact lens actually play a huge part in changing your looks and features. So today I'm actually going to be using the ones from Lenstown. I have it in Ollie 2 Pink. So the eye look that we're trying to go for today is something that is very light and airy but still reflective and shiny, correct? So the reason why I picked this color contact lens is also because generally we're trying to keep the eye itself very light in contrast. Not saying there's anything wrong with dark pupils or I hate my eyes, that kind of thing, no. It's more of the fact that we're trying to give it that ethereal, wispy kind of vibe to it. As always, I always recommend to go in with some eyeshadow primer. This one I'm using is the MAC Paint Pot. And I just realized I didn't do my brows, so I guess I'll do it quickly on screen. I'm just gonna take a brown pencil and just fill in my brows. You can just use any pencil of your liking. Also, currently it's raining outside, so sorry if you can hear the thunder. Hopefully I can able to clear up the audio a little bit. Normally I don't really touch the center part of my brows. I just do little flicks like this. Give it some hair-like strokes. I don't fill it in too much. And I just brush everything out. I think today is slightly going straighter, to be honest. Naturally filled brow kind of look. Extending the tail out a little bit. So if you can see, if you take a pen and you just angle it at this angle here, right? This is how the points of where your brow tail should end. So somewhere around here. And kind of think that the brow is kind of like a cap to your eyes. Because can you imagine if, for example, your eyebrow tail ends like right here, and then your eyeshadow is done all the way up here, right? Then this part is protruding out, and then the cap ends here. So it looks a little bit uneven and unbalanced because why is the top here so small and here so like big, correct? Like by standard beauty standards, I guess. And so yeah, that's why you want your brows to just be, you know, extended out a little bit, and then the eyeshadow would fall underneath wherever the cap is. So it looks very like this kind of shape to it. To break down this eyeshadow look, essentially your eyes are structured by matte eyeshadows to give it that shape to it, right? And the matte eyeshadows are medium in tone. Not too light, not too dark, because essentially what you want is the glitters to have somewhat of a translucent base kind of color to it to reflect off. If you use too dark of an eyeshadows like a dark brown, dark black, that kind of thing, which you totally can do that, but I would say that that would lean more towards like a smoky eye kind of thing, which I plan on doing somewhat of a similar video tutorial on it. So let me know if you're interested in seeing that. If you use too light of an eyeshadow, for example, something like is very pastel light like this or like this kind of color, then the glitters won't be as reflective. It won't really shine. The glitter particles or the glitters itself, they usually will be very like light pink, light white, light blue, that kind of thing. So tonally it sits very close to the skin tone already. So there's nothing contrasty enough. So that's why we're going for something that is medium in tone. For example, K-beauty eyeshadows. If you have normally a lot of K-beauty shadows look like this nowadays, I would say go for something around this tonal value in the eyeshadow palette itself. Also, you don't have to use this palette in particular. You can use any particular eyeshadows or products that is within your budget or within your makeup collection. We're gonna add a transition shade in our crease, going into this cool brown shade. And then I'm just taking it on a fluffy brush, knock off the excess to bring it all the way into the inner crease here and the outer crease as well, going back and forth in windshield wiper motions. Alone by itself, it looks like there's nothing much going on, right? But if you look like between these two eyes, you can see that there's a little bit more definition and structure to this, or this is just kind of looking a little bit flat. And one key important thing is that make sure you flick it out like this to your outer V, so you can see that it gives a very nice like kind of thing. And even though I said that you want your base to be a matte eyeshadow, right? I think I'm gonna go into this like dusty pink kind of color, which has micro shimmers, flecks of shimmers in it. I'm just gonna knock off the excess. And normally when I knock off the excess like this, right, I feel that most of the times the glitters or the micro shimmers will actually fall as well. So we're gonna take it on a flat brush like this, right? And we are just going to lay it down here. Taking it from the inner to middle part and just spreading it across. See, if you were to use Korean eyeshadows, because they are so tightly pressed, there really isn't like much pigmentation to it compared to using a Western eyeshadow, which is something like the Natasha Denona palette, or if not, Huda Beauty, for example, or if you're on a budget, Colourpop, because right now this look is looking a little bit too light for me, so I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of the, should I go in with the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz? I think the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz would give a little bit more oomph to it. I'm going to take this color over here. This is super cool tone, a little bit more on the darker side as well. And I'm just going in with a super duper light hand, and I'm just going to pop it into the crease to darken it up just a little bit. I'm only focusing it on the outer crease. Now in the event that you feel that this is looking a little bit too harsh to your liking, you want to remove product and it feels a little bit difficult, right? What you can do is you can take some translucent powder and you're just going to take it on a loose brush like this, a fluffy one, and you're just going to soak your brush in it. Knock off the excess again, remember, always knock off excess. And then you're going to go back into where you think you want to diffuse a little bit. So this will kind of act like your eraser, and you'll just softly diffuse everything out for you. And do we see the edges are now much more diffused? This outer V is not as intense anymore, and the edges are softer as well. So this is a very, very handy tip that you can keep on hand as well if you have any eyeshadow looks that you kind of want to diffuse out. Go into this shade. It's like a satin dusty purple. It's medium in tone. Actually, this is like the perfect kind of color that I'll actually lay down from my inner to middle portion of the eye. I'm actually just going to gently tap it onto the middle portion because it's not medium tone enough. I feel like it still look a little bit too dusty. Now we're going to go into this shade called Groove. It's a, I would say like a deepened berry plum kind of color. I'm going to use this very tiny fluffy brush and I'm just going to tuck it in the outer corner here. You can see that this color is like super intense. So I'm going to go back onto the translucent setting powder brush and I'm just going to diffuse it once again. I realized that when it comes to doing this type of like, oh my god, super glam, low effort kind of look to it, actually a lot of effort is being put into it. When it comes to the fun part of adding the sparkles and glitters, what we're highlighting is the parts or features that you would like to bring forward, because when light hits your face, it's essentially bringing forward certain features, and then shadows like the dark mattes like this, it casts shadows into where you want to add depth to. And to make sure you achieve that wet reflective look to it, right? The eyeshadow or eye glitter that you're going to pick, make sure it has something that has a very translucent base to it. Like there's no base pigment, or if not, it's like a 10-20%. And the main showstopper is really the shimmers or the glitters itself. So for example, in this Wig Mix Soft Blurring Eye Palette, this one is in number 2 if I'm not wrong. Lively Blurring, yes. This particular shimmer over here, it doesn't really have a base pigment to it. Right now it's just pure shine. That's all you see right now on my fingers. An example from Western brand would be Colourpop Ritz. Colourpop Ritz is actually one of my favorites. I'm so sad mine actually dried out, so I can't use it for today. But basically it's like suspended little glitters in the product itself, and then you pat it on, it's just pure glitter. This is actually a dry swatch, so usually I would prefer to go with fingers. I could use a brush, but honestly I'm a little bit lazy. Fingers are great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the high points of my eyelids, and it's the center point, like right over here. Do we see? Ooh, that is beautiful. This is going to be your base shimmer. We're not done yet, don't worry. My favorite part is just to bring it up the eye socket, like right here. I love doing this because when you turn your head and then the light hits, it just reflects the curvature of your eyeballs or your eye sockets, and it just makes your eye sockets or eyelids way much more like taller. It would be great if you have a glitter eyeshadow palette like this, like pure glitters, because usually with these they are more of like a very translucent shimmer palettes. There's not really like glitter per se. They feel a little bit more grittier to the touch as well. You can mix it up like this. You can see that on my finger it's just pure glitter. You can layer up the glitters as well. You can just pop it like right on top. Also, I know like this looks a little bit lackluster, but trust the process, alright? We still have yet to add the wing liner, the mascara to really tie in everything. And for the eyeliner, I'm actually gonna go in with this pen eyeliner just to give a nice sharp line. And this is brown in color. The reason why I don't really like to use black is the fact that I feel like it's a little bit too harsh, like it's like a stamp on your eyes. And I think black is like a great color to use for even more dramatic eye looks, like a smoky eye or just something that is very dramatic in nature. This one, as much as we're trying to give the bling bling and the drama, right, I feel that brown is still softer and it's not as intense as black. Now for lashes, if you're blessed with luscious, long, thick lashes, girl, I am so envious of you. But if you are in the same boat as me with short, sad, straight Asian lashes, then the game changer would definitely be false eyelashes like this. These are the cluster lashes that I'm going in with today. As you can see, they are still quite wispy, but I feel they are a little bit wider in length, just like a little bit. So this will definitely help to make your lashes look really nice and wide, and also these are super comfortable and under $5, I think. So this one, if you are based in Singapore, I will put the link also down below for you guys to go and check it out. It's available on Shopee. So after putting on the false eyelashes and cleaning up my eyeliner, as well as throwing on some mascara, this is how the eye makeup is looking like so far. It looks very, very like white and bright. You can see with the false eyelashes, you really help to make my eyes look so much bigger compared to this side over here, and like, oh my god, the difference is crazy. For the lower lash makeup, I'm actually just going to take the same medium shade that I laid from the inner to middle part of my eyes, the satin dusty purple shade, knock off the excess, and I am just going to run it along here. But the thing is, later I will have to throw on like foundation and all that kind of thing. I think it might be covered up, but I just want to show you guys how I will actually do it. I feel like sometimes when I do lower lash makeup, right, it makes my eyes a lot heavier, a little bit weighed down. So sometimes I don't really like to do that. But when we do something a little bit more, I wouldn't say complicated, but a little bit more dramatic in the sense, something like this, yeah, sometimes it does help to add a little bit more shadow and depth to your lower lashes over here. Now going in with some mascara, this one is from the Judy Doll Iron Curling one. I like this for my lower lashes because I can really get in there and just get all my sad lashes because there isn't much to it. And with regular mascara wands, it's very easy to poke me in the eye and mess up my lashes. Okay, so this is the before and this is the after. What do you guys think? Crazy, right? How eye makeup alone by itself can change your eyes so much. I do notice that I have a little bit of a glitter fallout like right around here, so I'm definitely going to take a cotton pad and just try to clean it up. I'm going to do the rest of my face, and I do have tips on how to make sure your eyes are like the showstopper and everyone is focusing their attention on your beautiful eyes. For the rest of your makeup, that means your base makeup, your cheeks, your lips, keep it as matte as possible, or if not, velvet matte. Basically, you want to create that kind of contrast between the two, between your eyes and the rest of your face. So when everything else is consistently matte, but you have one thing that is glittery, shiny, there really is a nice like juxtaposition between the two, and that's how you make sure your eyes pop and everyone will just like, ooh, you have nice eyelids. Also try to keep color cohesion between your eyes, your blush, and your lips. If you did a super warm, toasty brown, glittery eye kind of vibe, then try to go for maybe like a beige blush. And then for your lips, you could go for something that is a little bit more beigey neutral. Okay, I didn't use the same lippy because I felt like the lip product was a little bit too bright compared to my eyes. My eyes look very muted but also very sparkly, and this is a subtle shine, not like a full-blown gloss kind of thing, but you know what? I think put together, it looks pretty alright. I'm actually planning to do another video like this, but instead it's a dramatic, smoky, but colorful kind of look. Let me know if you'd love to see a video like that, and I will see you guys in my next video, which you can check out over here.